All right, welcome back to another episode of How Did I Get Here podcast, the podcast for positivity, progression, and finding your own path. It's your co-host, Mr. Brown Broken Guapo, 10 toes down, big head up, made it through another school year and didn't get fired. What up?
Right, congratulations.
Yeah, 5 years down, didn't get fired.
Woo.
Yeah, thank you. It's questionable. Thank you.
Big plans for the summer.
We'll try again next year.
Summer break.
Go ahead, Ash.
I love that for you, though. You know,
Thank
sometimes
you.
I'm like, I truly
Don't know how parents send their kids to me every day.
not even that. I don't remember the last time I had a summer off. Like from the time, probably the last summer I had off was those 6 months after I graduated.
Working in the school system is the biggest hack. You work 80 days a year.
I was
You
trying to get into
get
the school
summers
system.
off, PTO, spring break, winter break.
Yeah.
It's a hack. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, I mean, I might find my way there soon.
Come on to the
But-
dark side.
But you know, hey y'all, it's Tuesday, so you know what that means.
Taco.
No, we at the secret
I just made tacos,
location.
so-
Did you?
Yeah.
Good tacos?
Some
Ooh.
shrimp tacos.
Ooh.
I love a good shrimp taco. I had a fire taco from Geronimo the other night.
That's my favorite restaurant.
Are their tacos better than Te Amo tequilas?
I think so.
Really? I've never been to
See,
Geronimo.
I feel like I don't really have the tacos that much from Te Amo. I'll get their steak quesadilla.
Nah.
That's fire. But yeah, I feel like Geronimo's tacos, like I had the carne asada. I usually get the burrito tacos. And then my homegirls, they got the shrimp tempura tacos. But yeah, I warmed up my last taco the other night. I was like, wow. In the air fryer too. I was like, this fire good.
Good for you. I love that for you. Spence, big guy.
What's good? It's your boy Spence, King Aquarius, faux dog. Yeah, we here on another beautiful Tuesday in Connecticut. Beautiful being overcast, hot, rainy.
I was like,
Depressing.
it was hot for you today?
It was definitely warm.
It was comfortable. I was running around. It was comfy.
I thought
So it was
a little-
definitely warm because he run hot.
Yeah, like I was. This is how I actually ran around today.
See?
Yeah, so I was.
But yeah, so you know we here and we got ourselves a little guest.
Not a little guess.
I was like the same size as you.
Man, I wasn't demeaning you in any way. I swear I ain't mean nothing by it.
I was like, damn, this is gonna be the last time. Like, these
You're
niggas just,
judgmental. How dare you?
My bad. Big guest, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, now we got a big guest today. This is Drew, and to be honest, I just met Drew today. So we gonna learn about Drew together. And also, yeah, I'm just gonna let Drew introduce himself and then Jacob can take it.
I'm Drew Wilson from Bloomfield, Connecticut.
hey,
So that's about it.
hey.
Hey man, nah.
You know what I'm saying? So
From Bloomfield, Connecticut, like you originally from Bloomfield,
I'm
Connecticut?
from Hartford. Everybody from Hartford.
Nah, okay,
I
now
feel
let's
like
not let's
Hartford.
you just said something.
But
Let's dive
I
into
was,
that.
went to school in Bloomfield. So
Where in Harvard you grew up?
off Vine Street, Mansfield Street,
Oh.
North End.
Okay.
North End. So
Yeah, like your whole childhood?
my whole childhood, but I was one of those kids that got bussed out to like Bloomfield, and
So you had to go. Oh, well, Bloomfield's not bad. It's not like you had to go like.
too far.
Yeah, because I was like, we pro search to like the back end.
Still had some culture.
You know, it's funny you say that because my dad lived in Hartford my whole life,
Right.
and my mom lived in Bloomfield, and I grew up back and forth between the two.
Same.
But I always struggled, like who do I rep? Like, cause I'm a Warhawk,
Right.
but then it's like I also grew up in Hartford, so I like.
Right.
It's just like, damn, look, where you from?
I get it all the
Hartford,
time.
Bloomfield. Like, that's I feel you. Cause ain't I tell you right now, ain't no town better than Bloomfield.
No time.
No high school, no. They gonna do a 30 for 30
Nothing.
on Bloomfield High one of these days.
I promise. you.
Honestly, I've stayed trying to live in Bloomfield. It's so
Hey,
hard.
it's a beautiful town.
Die
So
hard Warhawk.
Die Hard Warhawk.
hey, Warhawk, yo, once you bleed blue and orange, bro.
It's a family.
My question is, are you willing to tell everyone when you graduated?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when you graduated from Bloomfield.
03.
Okay.
I'm an OG. I'm an OG.
Triple OG, but yeah.
Yeah, man. Triple
My
OG,
bad.
man. No, you good, bro.
I ain't gonna hold you. You gave a one word response, so I had to
No, man. It's cool, man.
get, we here though.
03.
Word. 2010. Let's go. Yeah, Warhawks. All right, so normally Spencer has the question of the day. But I was watching a podcast the other day, and it came across my mind. I was like, yo, I gotta ask this, right? You know, when you're in a relationship or you break up in a relationship and you say like, oh, you know, if we didn't work out, I still want you to be happy. Or like, if you're not going to be happy with me, like, I hope you find happiness somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Do people actually mean that?
I agree.
Yeah?
I agree with that.
Okay. Elaborate on it.
I feel like, you know, I've been through that before. So it's like, if you can't give that person what they need, I feel like you should let that person go. And you get what I'm saying? And like find that peace because I can't give that person what she needs. You get what I'm saying? So like, I feel like just let her go.
What if she hurt you? Like, what if that person hurt you, but y'all still tried to make work for like a year, 2 years, and then it's like...
I've been through that too.
Okay.
I've been through that too, man. But it's tough, man. It's a tough situation, but I feel like for the both of y'all need to, you know, if y'all want to be happy, just move on.
It's part of healing.
It's part of healing. It's tough healing. Like, you know, like healing's not easy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What do y'all think? Because I know.
Ash, you want to go first?
I'm gonna let you go.
Go. So okay, because there's certain people unfortunately, there's certain people you meet in the wrong circumstances, wrong time, right? And things may not mesh the way they're supposed to. So, you know, if you go your separate ways, I understand that. But some people, it's just like, you ain't never in your life is you about to like find something.
So do you wish those people well?
I don't care, to be honest with you.
I wish I could say I'm surprised as that was your response.
It is what it is. Like, we didn't work out. Sometimes you go separate ways with people and it's smoke. Like, I don't wish the best for you. You kind of a bad person. I don't know why I chose you to begin with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not all rainbows and butterflies. I'm not always the bigger person. Like,
I hear you. Because like you just said, I don't wish you well. There's probably 2 folk that I could think of that come front to mind that is like, I don't wish you negative, but I don't wish you well. Like I guess I haven't healed because I'm still like, for lack of better terms, you still a fuck girl.
I hope you stub your big toe every morning.
You know, like
nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. You could break a toe.
But you know what? I do hope they find happiness. I do hope, because everybody deserves happiness.
Agreed.
Feel me? And like, regardless of what we had going on over here, the more anger or more like animosity I hold towards you, I still haven't healed. Right. Feel me? So that's where it's like, I do wish everyone holds happiness, and I'd rather just let the shit go. You know, easier said than done.
Right.
So Ash,
Ash the bigger person of all of us, so
I don't know. I think she's gonna shock us with her answer.
I think it's the latter, to be honest. Like, I think in that sense, I don't necessarily like wish happiness for that other person. I'm gonna wish happiness for myself, because I think like I could just think of like so many different scenarios in my life, and not even just like romantic relationships, also like platonic relationships with friends, or just like family relationships as well, that like, yes, like you shouldn't allow that person to hold power over you, and you shouldn't allow like their wrongdoings dictate like how your life is and in a way like you end up like being a product of that situation. But I do think like for healing purposes, it's all about more so like forgiving yourself and like wishing yourself happiness, because like at the end of the day, like you are the one that has to move on with your life depending on like whatever the situation is. So I think I've learned throughout like many different situations that I may not wish you well, but I know I'm gonna wish myself well. And I think it's also just kind of like, we cool. Like, I don't wish you bad. I don't wish you good either. But I also not checking up on you.
You here, I'm there, and that's it.
Yeah, like I'm gonna act like you don't exist though, but like I'm gonna still like keep it pushing. Like it's still gonna be like on some respectable, cordial stuff. Like if we're there, but if it's also like try to be like the bigger person and end things on a good term, and then it just like turned out to be weird. Cause I've had that situation too, where like I'm like, okay, you know, like let's just be cool or like try to be cool. But then I think people use that as an excuse to still like hold control over you. So it's like, you know, people will say, oh, you should have that conversation of closure. I think I've learned like sometimes having that conversation for closure isn't needed because people will use that to think that they still need like, or they have accessibility still to you. They have power and
they live rent free.
Yeah, it's like you're not accessible to me no more. So I'm just kind of like, my closure is I'm going to go heal. I'm going to go work on me. I'm going to take what I did wrong, what I did great, what I could work on from that situation, and then we're going to apply it to the next one. Because back to your point, Drew, I think everybody should heal. I think the best way to heal is healing with yourself. I know everybody's not really comfortable with that, but friends, we're going to work on healing by ourselves this summer if we got some healing to do, because it makes you a stronger person at the end. Like if you don't do the work now, like as uncomfortable as it may be, like that's the only way you're going to grow. And we've talked about that before. Like you can't grow from being comfortable. Right. So I think I find happiness in myself, and I hope you find happiness for me.
Yeah, I told you, Ash is the biggest person of all of us.
It's the latter though, because there's sometimes like, F you. I hope not only do you stub your big toe, I hope you get a flat tire. I hope you get a nail in your tires that you got to replace all your tires. So that way you feel some.
I just think it's important to. I think it's just important to let people know like where you stand with them, because
for sure
you said something earlier. You're like, you know what? I'm not gonna walk by you act like I don't know you. I'll walk by you act like I've never seen you before in my life. Like if it's that, like because I.
Nah, hold on. What you?
I'm just like, yo, I'm listening.
I would like, I'll look you dead in your eyes and walk by and like, I don't know you.
I feel that. I done been in the room with folks and looked through them like they not even there.
Right.
And it's, you know what it is?
Powerful.
It's powerful. 1, 2. Part of that is like there's still energy, and not energy like chemistry, but there's. If I've got to ignore you, that means something, right?
I was gonna say, because like that brings me to another question. Then, like, do you allow, or do you think it's okay if people allow someone's presence to disturb them? Like, would you not go somewhere if you know that person you don't like is gonna be there?
Yeah, I'm going there because you're not about to dictate what I'm going. Right, like you're not about to dictate what I was doing with my time.
Right, but I feel like some people be like, "Oh, I'm not going because they gonna be there."
It all depends on that person. Like, you know, that person with drama, or you know what I'm saying. Like, you
right? Because sometimes people can't really be in the same room because it's gonna be smoke off rip.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's like now it's not a peaceful environment anymore.
So
like,
be smart about it.
Yeah, like actually, y'all might have to take some time away.
Yeah, I think you definitely have to use discernment in those moments. And how I always feel about it is, I never want smoke.
Me neither.
I never want smoke.
Because what's the point?
But if smoke is brought, it's free smoke. I promise you. And like, I just know people.
You can get some smoke. You can get
everybody.
Some smoke.
It's just like
smoke for everybody.
And the thing is, at that point, I done give warnings. So like, when I blow, and I don't get to blow often, I'm actually gonna enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
My thing is like, I'm a very peaceful person. But like 50 said, I'm a killer, but don't push. What he said, I'm not a killer, but don't push me. Right?
Like who said?
50, Curtis Jackson, and didn't he say that?
Tupac said.
50 said it too. I'm sorry.
And it was just
Tupac.
I like to cite the original source.
I'm sorry.
It was just Tupac's birthday.
My
Who came to mind first?
Huh?
Who came to mind first when you heard that?
Okay. Sorry, Tupac. Yo, Brooklyn,
like
delete that. Make me sound educated, all right?
Nah, we gonna snip that.
Right? Everybody gonna come from my neck. But like the gentleman of hip hop said, I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
Now
right?
it's the gentleman.
And I ain't out here killing nobody. But my thing is like Spencer said, it takes a lot to make me uncomfortable. So I'm gonna make you uncomfortable. You're gonna be miserable way before you do that to me. So play that game if you want. Right? But the thing is, we can coincide in this room. But the second you start to act funny, I'm a comedian. So let's not play that game. Like I'm gonna be all peaceful until it's not peaceful no more.
Well, I agree.
And that's kind of just it for me. But on that note, Father's Day just passed. June is Men's Mental Health Month. Which is why we brought Drew in. Huge men's mental health or just mental health advocate in general.
Yes, sir.
Father of 3 as well. So I thought it would be dope to have him in and come on and chat with us today. So the first question I have, because are 2 or 3 of your kids athletes?
2 of my kids.
2 of them, right?
Yeah.
So I know the little man. I see him.
Yeah, he's 4.
He's an athlete, and then the middle one just graduated, correct? Or
the oldest one.
Just graduated. Yeah. She's going to college for track and field.
Track and field, yeah.
So how do you guys feel? Because I know that my dad was very, very strict with me as a child, right?
Right.
But how do we? And you're actually the only parent in the room. Like, those are my kids right there. Those plants.
Hey, wait, hold on. Ash and I both got kids.
That's not real.
Look at her face.
So they have dogs. They have dogs. No.
I will go get my nephew right now. He gonna go grrr.
That's cool. That's cool. But one thing that kills me is oh, happy Father's Day. I have a dog. No, we not about to take away from the mothers and fathers of real because you elected to go have a pet.
You ain't. Never mind.
But when especially in sports, right? How do we? There's a fine line between pushing your kid and, pushing them over that line.
Right.
So what does that line, because I know my dad, he comes from a martial arts background. Discipline was one of the first things we learned at a young age.
Right.
And sometimes you could push a kid into hating a sport, a hobby, whatever.
I did that.
Really?
Yeah. My daughter was probably running since she was 7, 8 years old. And I used to be on her, working out, going extra workouts, you know what I'm saying? And if she didn't perform well at the track meet, I would get upset because we drive into Boston, we drive into New York, you know what I'm saying? And she just didn't show up. So I'd be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? The hard work pays off, you get what I'm saying? But it's I was on her so much where I started to see that she didn't open up to me. You get what I'm saying? She would complain to other parents or other people about me barking on her all the time, but I just want the best for her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like she didn't understand that. But now that she sees it a little, she's a little bit older, she sees that me pushing her, it paid off.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So
could it have been showed differently?
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
My words, my the way I acted towards her, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, I could do better. But I was the first time dad, and I didn't know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I just suggest for, sports dads, just take your time with the kid. Let them enjoy it. You get what I'm saying? Let them enjoy the sport, before you start barking on them, because don't let them hate the sport because you just, trying to do them.
Don't be that angry parent that's in the, yeah.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? So don't be that.
You had a smirk on you. I thought you...
I don't have kids, so I always think about how I'm gonna be in those situations. And I like to live in the moment, so I don't like to fantasize about it too much. But I just feel like I would be like you. I'm like, nah, but I just feel like I'd be on them all the time.
I was, bro.
I'm just incessant, and you really have to tell me I don't want to do this.
But even then, that's because I remember when I told my dad, I think I stopped playing soccer 28, right? And I told him, he was like, yo, why you not at practice? I was in preseason with Hartford Athletic.
Right.
And I was just like, yeah, nah. He was like, what do you mean? Yeah, nah. And I was just like I'm done playing because I was so burnt out, not by his doing, from all the training and blah, 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 that I just didn't want to do it anymore. And even after him watching me play for the national team, play overseas, all this stuff, his response at that age was still damn, I'm kind of disappointed. You know what I mean? And it was just damn, Dad, I'm 28 years old. I've done great, but you still, I think, like you said, kids don't realize that parents is their first time being parents, but I don't think parents realize how much their kids, even all the way through, look up to their parents,
Right.
And that's kind of where that shifted and everything. talk about how in this new age of being a parent, right? We're seeing a lot more younger parents.
Right.
So you see a lot of parents who are like their kids' friends. You know, whereas when at least I know I could speak for me.
Right.
I was not raised that way.
Yeah.
You know, so speak to that different dynamic and how those dynamics mesh together.
With my daughters, the same way. Like, you know, sometimes they, you know, if I come down on them, it's like, I'm not your friend. You get what I'm saying? I'm not your friend. I just want the best for you, but I can't give you everything and expect for you to be like, you know, a good person in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have some type of consequences. You get what I'm saying? Like, and then like now, if you bark on them, like these kids these days, is like you bark on them, it's like, oh my God, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he hurt me, or they're gonna hurt themselves because you disciplined them.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? They're soft.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So like you have to know how to deal with these nowadays kids. You get what I'm saying?
Wait, because I agree though, but like, what makes them soft though?
It's us. It's me. It's, you know, it's society. It's, you know, it's because the problem is that we don't want our kids to be raised how we were raised. We want to give our kids more than what we had. You get what I'm saying? So we work hard. We get yelled at to make them live a luxury life, or like give them like what they want. You get what I'm saying? So that's how I feel like, you know, it's like a cycle. Like, you know, we work hard to give them an easy life.
Right.
So they don't understand that how hard we grew up. They don't understand that.
So I agree with you, right? The goal is to give our kids a better life than what we had, right?
Right.
But when we say like we don't want them to be raised how we were raised, it's interesting because in order to get that character, that hustle, that thick skin, it takes how we got raised. Right. You know what I mean? And that's where it's like you kind of can't have one without the other.
Right.
But in today's society, you also can't raise kids how we were raised.
Right. Because like being raised like that, I didn't like it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I didn't like it. So I don't want to, like, you know, like me raising my kid, I didn't want to, you know, like discipline my kid how I was disciplined, because I felt like it wasn't right.
Right.
So.
But I don't think it was nothing wrong with the way we were raised.
I do. Like me, bro. Like my
Let's
mom,
not assume we know how everybody was disciplined.
That was a general statement. My bad.
Wait a second.
My bad.
I used to get barked on, bro. My mom, bro, like she was tough. You know what I'm saying? She was tough. You know, so I just felt like I didn't want to raise my kids in that type of environment like that.
So then, which is interesting because I love how this is kind of just bringing through the course, right? Like, what were some things, you know, I know you just say you just get barked on, right?
Right.
But what are some things from our childhood that we liked and would bring into parenthood, or some things that we didn't like and wouldn't bring into parenting? I mean, that's kind of for everybody.
Yeah. Shoot. You know.
He's like, I gotta be careful how I answer this.
Yeah. I think my mom has always shown me unconditional love, unwavering confidence, unwavering like loving energy, and has always had my back. Like, she says all the time, like, I'm your number one fan. Oh, like, she really instilled in me at a young age, I can do whatever I want. And I've never wavered from that. I'm like, nah, facts. Like, 100%. Like, because why can't I?
Right.
Because no one can answer that, because why can't I?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, so that, what I wouldn't bring in is the lack of communication between child and adult.
Super important.
Yeah, I think there was a more of, you're talking back, like, if I'm talking back, like, it means I'm probably talking for understanding. You know, like, I'm not just rude. You didn't raise me to be rude. You didn't raise me to be a dickhead. I genuinely don't know. It's because I said so. Well, now I'm never gonna know. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm getting yelled at, like, go to your room. Like, what the, like,
right, circa 2000, still trying to figure out
all this
why
energy you just exerted.
Right.
You could have just told me. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you fucked up. You did dun 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 dun.
Like, teach me.
Yeah, so now because you did this, you can't do this.
Right.
It's so like,
I agree.
Yeah, there wasn't enough of that. So the communication, but also like the unwavering love.
I agree.
It's so interesting that you say that, because like working in the school system, I often forget, like, and me as an adult, I can't do something if I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
even if I disagree, I just need to understand. And then for me to be like, you know what, you're right. I need that understanding, right? And even the kids always questioning at work, that open line of communication is so important, but often gets lost in translation because I'm an adult. What was Matilda? I'm big, you're small. I'm smart, you're dumb. Like,
Yeah.
there's those things that is just like, bro, I'm an adult.
Right.
You know, I agree. That's interesting.
Nope.
Ash.
I feel like I always chuckle at this question because I'm like, I look back at my childhood and I'm like, it was an interesting time because I feel like coming from like immigrant parents and especially like West Indian parents. Oof.
Same.
I feel like West Indian parents, like if anyone out there with West Indian parents, I feel like you already know off rip.
I do.
It's a war zone sometimes out there. And I feel like that is also because of that generational of just like, again, like I think as I've gotten older, I've learned that my mom, especially because like my dad was there, but like he wasn't really there. He was just kind of like
Same.
doing his own thing.
Right,
and
same.
and so like I think I always say like in a one parent household, like my mom did the best that she could, but I also know like my experience is a little bit different from everyone else's just because of like the relationship that me and my mom have. Like me and my mom, we have a very intricate relationship because we were also abused by my father at the same time. So like we almost have like that relationship of those who have like trauma bonded, of almost like a survivor mentality together, where it's like I still will do anything for my mother. I will give my mother the shirt off my back. I will always run when she needs me. And I think as we've gotten older, we've reached that open line of communication now where like I could be a little bit more open, but in the beginning we didn't really have that. So I definitely agree about like having that open line of communication. I think also too, just like I've worked in school settings, clinical settings with kids on the spectrum for 5 years and being like really advocating for those families and just studying human development and family sciences and studies that like it does take a lot to raise a child and there is no rule book to do that. So I never fault anybody for trying to raise their kid the best way that they know how.
Right.
I think it's always about like really empowering parents to have more support and just resources at their disposal. So like if they are struggling, it doesn't feel like they're just doing it by themselves, or like, you know, a lot of our families that like kind of go back to like, oh, well, I did the best I could with what I had. And it's like, yes, you did, but that doesn't always mean it was right. But like, I understand like that's what you had and that's what you did. So I think definitely like an open line of communication. I think definitely to that level of respect. Like I think a lot of the time it's always talked about like, you know, respect needs to be given before it's earned. And it's like, yes, but I think especially like with these kids that don't have the proper guidance and they are just like out here just doing whatever, like you have to meet them where they're at and show them that respect of like, if I'm extending this respect out to you, I'm setting the standard from now that I'm also wanting that same respect back. And then learning from there, like how to get to them so that they understand, like, I'm not here to talk down to you. I'm not here to bark at you either, but I'm also going to tell you when you're wrong. I'm also going to tell you when you're doing too much and you need to relax. Because a lot of these kids now, like, they don't have the proper social emotional regulation. I'm going to go into my little HDFS side real quick. But I'm like, these kids are out here wilding because they have no social emotional regulation. They're just doing whatever for whatever because whatever they got going on at home or don't have at home. Like, that's where then they end up in these situations today where we're just on the other side of it because we don't understand it and we're just seeing it off rip. We're just like, why the fuck are y'all acting this way? Or like, why are you doing all of this? Or if I'm saying something to you, why are you automatically just blowing up at me? And now you're saying like, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. When I'm like, I haven't put my hands on you. I really haven't like talked down to you or like degraded you.
I just told you some shit you ain't like.
Right, like you just
That's
didn't
it.
like something you didn't hear. But again, going back to your point, Drew, like when people of any parental figure or parent or guardian like are afraid to tell kids no, that's where that all starts. Because I always told my parents all the time that I work with, like, they're like, oh, I feel bad, like always telling them no, 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 no. But I'm like, no, like you're teaching, that's their first environment of a boundary. And like, it's okay to tell them no, because that's something they'll always hear their entire life. Like, they're not going to get everything that they want. Right. They are going to hear a lot of no's, but you got to teach them, how do you grow from that no? Or why did you get told no? Not just because I said so, or that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It's like, no, like, and then inquisitiveness is like, kids learn through asking questions. So it's like, if they're wanting to know why, just explain to them why. And I think parents should learn to take a step back and not feel like their kids trying to attack their authority or their parentship or the relationship. They just may want to know, like, I'm not understanding why, like, I can't do this, and now I'm like getting this consequence that I don't like, so now I'm even like more like upset and I want to know why. It's just like, you can't go out late for X, Y, and Z reasons.
Right.
And until, like, you know, X, Y, and Z happens.
Like, yep, been there.
Nah, been there.
Then, like, yeah, because, like,
go through this shit now.
Yeah, it's just like, you gotta teach them that, because, like, I remember, too, just, like, transitioning from, like, college back home. I would be like, oh, yeah, you know, I get to go out and do whatever.
Nah, you back under my
back
roof.
at home, my mom's like, where? Yeah,
man.
She's like, come on now.
Trust me.
So let's figure this out. Like, where's the compromise? Like, if you want to go out, let's talk about, okay, like, how late can you stay out, X, Y, and Z, and finding that balance. But again, that's like after we've gotten to that point, because for a long time, I had respect for my mom, but I was also very terrified of getting my ass beat, because getting all the ass beatings I got, I realized after a while, I'm like, I don't want that.
Right.
My mom would literally hit me with anything in her hand. She'd be cooking.
That hot flashback.
Right, that hot spoon coming across my face next.
Man,
like,
listen,
love you, mom, though. Like,
that
be
ride
locked
home,
in.
bro.
But, woo.
That ride home was torture.
And everybody knew my mom, too, so it wasn't like I could act up. Because my mom would know before I even got home. And she wouldn't say that she knew all the time. She would wait to see if I would tell her, to see if I would be honest and open about, like, okay, like, I got into this trouble, or, like, I did X, Y, and Z. Like, she was really playing some, like, Jedi mind tricks on me, trying to figure out, like, if I think she was trying to teach me the accountability of owning up if I did something wrong. But for me, I'm like, oh, she ain't know, so I'm going to just keep on doing it. And then she would just have her laundry list of things that she was keeping tabs on. I'm like, dang.
I swear.
I was like, keeping tabs is crazy. She's like, yeah, I remember when you did this. I remember you did that. I'm like,
I didn't even know you knew.
Right, that's like 3 months ago. Like, damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, she was the ops for real. But, you know, much love for Mama Dukes.
So how much? Damn, you just brought up like mad points.
That's what I be doing.
How much does ego play into being a parent? You know what I mean? Because, and the reason I say that, like Ash just said, you know, your children questioning you or going against the grain. You know, we're raising young men and women to be their own person, and at some time you have to realize it's not an attack on me. This is who I'm raising you to be.
Right.
But eventually the kids are going to grow up, and you kind of have to let that ego go. And this is me just assuming I don't got no kids.
Right.
But, you know, that's how much does ego come into play when being a parent?
But Dream, like, she's a senior, like, she about to graduate, like, she graduated, whatever. But with her, it's like the word no, when she was saying that, the word no, she hates it. If I say no, she goes to my grandmother. She goes to my father, like, you know what I'm saying? So with her, it's like, I don't want to let her go, like, my first, you know what I'm saying? But when she went to college, like, I can't be there all the time, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that authority, like, today, for instance, like, she wanted a tattoo, like, today. And I'm like, no, you get what I'm saying? But my brother was like, yo, he gonna pay for it. You get what I'm saying? But in 2-3 more months, she'd be 18.
She can go get it anyway.
You get what I'm saying? So, like, now I gotta, like, fall back and be like, damn, bro, like, I have no control over this decision of her getting a tattoo.
How does that feel? Because that's a whole nother thing.
So you have to mentally you have to prepare yourself for it, because it's going to come. It's going to happen.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So, like, over the years, like I knew she was gonna have a boyfriend. I knew it would be the first kiss. I knew sex was gonna be involved at some point.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? I knew husband gonna be involved, kids gonna be involved. So I had to prepare myself mentally, like, yo, this shit's gonna happen. Like it's gonna happen at some point. You know what I'm saying? So when it's happening now, you know, like in real life, it doesn't bother me as much because I already mentally prepared myself for those moments.
Right.
That's gonna happen in life.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Is it? Oh, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I got a question. So why did you say no to the tattoo?
Because I don't want her to I want her to still be a kid. Like, I want her to be a kid as long as possible. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be an adult forever. You get what I'm saying? You only 17 one time. You're going to teach her one time. You get what I'm saying? So I don't want her to get a 17 tattoo now where it's like 25 years old, you tired of tattoos.
Damn, why'd I get this?
Why just get it? You know
Did she say what she wanted?
She wanted a dragon on her side that meant power. You know, I'm like, you know, I'm like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, do you really want it for that power? Or do you want it because how it looks?
It's interesting you say that because...
Both.
Right, I was like, maybe a little bit of both.
It's funny because twofold. The amount of times I remember soccer season ended in early November. Right. You know, I don't see the kids often. I don't work there, right? In the spring, I went back and I saw like 3 or 4 of them with tattoos. And I was just like... And those are just of my boys. I could only imagine the rest of the 500 kids in the building.
Crazy with it, bro.
These are kids that are not even 18 yet.
15, 16.
15, 16 with tattoos. And
That's
I'm just
crazy.
like, what is happening?
Wait, so when did y'all get y'all first tattoos?
So that was going my next story.
I got mine when I was like 18, 19.
Yeah.
My first...
Like my mom had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I got mine my winter break of my freshman year with
Me
my
too.
best friend.
And I actually had to hide mine from my mom.
Yup, I hid
for
both
about
mine.
I was 18, mind you. I was already 18, and I had to hide it until the following summer. Like
I hid
going
mine
into
till
sophomore
3
year.
years.
My mom was like, "Don't come in this house with no tats." Even my ears pierced. I had to go into college, wait until soccer season was over, and get my ears pierced. Right? She wouldn't let me pierce it going into college, so she told me not to get a tattoo. So I got the one on my right shoulder was my first one.
Oh, I got behind my left shoulder. There's my first one, and then on my rib cage. But
yeah, I hit it though. I hit it for until the following summer.
Yeah.
Right. And my mom was like hell bent against it, and I was walking around the house without a shirt on. We didn't have AC, and that's probably why I am the way I am. Right. So we didn't have AC. My brother and sister run. They're like, "Yo, mom's in the driveway." I was like, you know what? It's already on me. Like, what's she gonna do? Bro, my mom didn't talk to me for like 3 weeks. You know what that is to not have your mother that you live under the same roof with?
My mom too, like she didn't talk to me like complete like radio silence, but like she was very distant for a little bit. But I understood where my mom was coming from because she was very big on like not wanting people to judge me off rip because they saw a tattoo or like they saw I was like dressed a certain way. Like she didn't want that automatic like bias of just like, oh, she's not gonna be able to do this or like she's not gonna be able to do that because of those things. And like after a while, like I understood where she was coming from, but then I also told her, I was like, Mom, I was like, you know how many professionals out there that got like tattoos, got all of this and all that, and like they're still very highly respecting those things. But like I still tell her like when I'm getting a tattoo, like, oh, like it's like nothing like crazy, like it's always like in a spot that's like, you know, it's not gonna be like seen like that for people to be like, oh my gosh, like she got a tattoo. I mean, besides the one on my neck, but besides that, like I understand like why she did it, but
we here now.
But yeah, like we're here now. But like I think too, like again, I think it's those fears sometimes like parents will project onto us that they don't always mean to, because it comes from a good place. But like I think sometimes they get so stuck on not wanting their child to face the harsh realities of like what the world can bring, that they try in a way to navigate where like I don't want them to also be quote unquote too soft, but like I also don't want them to have a fair chance. Like I want them to have a fair equal chance at like any opportunity.
I think I was just a bad kid.
That's I rebelled at all.
Yeah, like
no way. Ain't no way.
I ain't consult with them at all. Like I got my first tattoo when I was 16.
You did you hide it?
It's on my back right shoulder. It's about my right. So yeah, no. Like when you gonna see it?
That's how I feel about my show. I was like, she's not gonna see it, so I was like, I don't gotta say anything. And I forgot how she saw it, and then she was like, oh.
And see, my parents gangster. Like when I turned 18 and I said I wasn't going to college, they started charging me rent ASAP, which is twofold, right? Because now I pay to live here.
Right. So now I am an adult.
So like now, like
It's free.
this is
I'm
my
doing what I
shit.
want.
Yeah,
Right.
what are we talking about?
I pay my own bills.
Right.
Right.
Like I contribute to this household, and I was getting money back then. So like, yeah, I was doing whatever. I remember I was 19. I was 19. Had a crazy night up around the rocks, and the next morning I see my mom in the kitchen. She's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "I'm hungover." She's just, I was like, "I'm going through it right now." And I remember the exact moment. I haven't drank this drink since. It's Smirnoff Apple. I was drinking Ray and Neff. Ray and Neff was my drink of choice.
Smirnoff with Ray and F?
So hold on, Ray and Neff is my drink of choice, right?
You bugging.
So like I always had like a half pint on me. So when you start your night like that, your taste buds are gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you burned them all off.
right.
Right.
So it was Smirnoff Apple. This dude was passing around like, "Oh yeah, take a shot." I was like, "When do I stop?" He's like, "Stop whenever you want to." I downed it, the whole bottle.
Not stop whenever you want to. He's like, okay.
Killed it. Yeah, that was the worst hangover I've ever
I
had.
believe you.
But again, a
Smirnoff
19-year-old just
Apple.
stumbling down from the third floor to the kitchen.
Yeah, you had to learn.
Right. You had to.
Yeah.
But my mom, like, she ain't
She
even
let
like,
you learn.
yeah, she's just like, yeah, all
If
right,
you still alive, you gonna learn.
right.